flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, Mrs. Beal.
Conway. Here. DeAndrea.
Here.
Denano.
Here.
Elias.
Here.
Calusa.
Here.
Landman.
Here.
Meadows.
Here.
Raymond. And Humphrey. Just
I'd like to have a motion for the adoption of the agenda with the addendum and tabling AE4 and with a brief executive session.
one.
I'll second it.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. We have a motion for an executive session for
I'll
personnel?
make a motion.
For personnel reasons?
Personnel,
Yes.
hiring issue.
Hiring issues and leave issues.
Thank you.
Proper motion has been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll be back briefly.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
motion to come back from executive session?
I'll second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Recognition of visitors and guests. Is there anybody that would like to speak tonight? You'll have a chance now or at the end of the meeting. Okay. Approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of October 16th, 2024. Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Approval of the attendance records of committee meetings and work sessions. Security, Safety and Transportation Committee meeting, November 4th, 2024. Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting of November 6th, 2024. And the work session of November 12th, 2024.
Motion.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Superintendent's report. Dr. Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. First, I would like to congratulate two teachers. First teacher, Ms. Jennifer Nesser from Clark Elementary School. She's been nominated for the 2026 Pennsylvania Teacher of the Year Award. Last year we had another teacher, Justin Ward. In addition to her, I've come to know yesterday that our high school teacher, Curtis Gatshorn, is also in the running for the Pennsylvania Teacher of the Year for this school year. So congratulations to both of them. We wish them the very best. That's something to have 3 teachers in 2 years that are nominated for that award. So congratulations. I would also like to thank the Community Foundation of Fayette County. They are awarding $15,330.54 to the Laurel Highlands School District for the fall grant cycle through the Arthur and Millicent Gabriel Legacy Fund, $6,000 to the elementary Lego education kits, $557.56 whiteboard tables for pre-algebra classes, $4,573.82 to Hands-On Science Hub, empowering 5th graders with their first lab table, $1,249.67 enrichment and remediation materials for 1st graders, $800.49 for a classroom and library, and the IDEA Fund is granting $2,149 for lighting up the stock market. And the teachers that were involved with applying for and going after these grants are Mr. Dan Arnold, Kathy Brown, Jennifer Nesser, Catherine Strange, and Bob Walters. Congratulations to all of those. And I think Jeremy Bryson was, yes, Jeremy Bryson was the other one. Congratulations to those teachers on getting those grants. Every little bit helps, and they're doing a great job at going out and beating the bushes and finding those grants. Also, please be aware that Marshall Elementary School held their annual family reading night yesterday, November 12th, from 6 to 8. Their theme was Harry Potter, and I believe Dr. Scott is here. She had 237 parents and students participate in the event, and it's always great to have the community out to celebrate literacy and having children out to celebrate and enhance literacy. Also, Marshall Elementary School will be participating in the Relay for Life Christmas tree raffle held at the Uniontown Mall. The event raised over $30,000 last year to help with cancer research. The Marshall tree will be dedicated to the 4 staff members who beat their cancer diagnosis and 7 staff members who have lost their battles between the years of 2004 and 2024. So go out and check out their tree and support them as much as you can. Good work, Dr. Scott and Marshall Elementary School. That concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Dr. Wallace. Academic Foundation report, Mr. Classic.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. At the most recent meeting of the Academic Foundation, 2 mini grants were given. The first was to Mrs. Marmel, and that was for $500 for STEM supplies. And the second was Ms. Skirning for music, professional development, and travel. She will be attending professional development to learn and bring back and share with the music department. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Colenso. Comprehensive strategic plan Board Policy and Public Relations Committee, Mr. Denona.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Under BP1, I'd like to make a motion to approve the revised integrated pest management policy found in Exhibit A.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Denona. Curriculum Committee, Mrs. Conway.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. C1 is informational. Parent-teacher conferences will be held on Wednesday, November 27th from 8 to 11:30 a.m. and on Monday, December 2nd from 2 to 4 p.m. and 6 to 8 p.m. C2 is informational. American Education Week is being celebrated the week of November 18th through the 22nd, 2024. This year's theme is Together for Safe, Just, and Equitable Schools, #AEW 2024. Thank you to our entire LH family for educating our students. C3 is informational. We are proud to announce that on November 22nd, 2024, the Laurel Highlands School District has been selected to host the 17th Annual PA Science Curriculum Council Conference for 100 educators from Southwest Pennsylvania and the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Many of the topics will be regarding the new science standards as well as highlighting our aquaponics system. C4 is informational. Fall secondary department chairperson meetings have been completed. C5, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve a new 5-year affiliation agreement with the West Virginia University for student field placements, student teaching placements, and internships.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
C6, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve student teacher placements with Penn West, California for spring 2024. If no name is listed, cooperating teachers are yet to be determined due to posting outcome. And the individuals are Nicole Thompson, Victoria Wellington, Lily Wilson, and Alyssa O'Neill.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Mrs. Conway. Buildings and Grounds Committee, Mr. Meadows.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. I'd like to thank Mr. Polino and his staff for their continued work. Just as Mr. DeAndrea and I were talking when we got here, we were remarking on how great the building looked. Your hard work does not go unnoticed. Under Buildings and Grounds, number 1A, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve permission for Garland to move forward with the Marshall roof replacement process.
I'll second.
I'd like to add one thing, that is also because of the $895,000 $897,500 grant that was obtained for that roof, which will greatly help the district and not have to pay for the entire amount of the roof. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Deneno?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal? Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Lamon?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
Buildings and Grounds, number 2, I'd like to put in the form of a motion for the approval to hire Slater Design and their consultants, CRA Architects, to conduct a comprehensive professional feasibility study of the elementary and middle school facilities. Approval shall be for a total contract not to exceed $22,000. This study shall be completed by June 1 of 2025.
I'll second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Lamon?
No.
Mr. Deneno?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal? Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
7 yeas, 1 nay.
Motion carries.
Buildings and Grounds, number 3, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve permission to enter into an extension agreement with the Natural Gas Consortium for a 36-month natural gas extension, a better basis rate of .267 for the 58 schools served by the utility Columbia Gas of Pennsylvania.
I'll second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report, Mr. D'Andrea.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. Finance, Budget, and Taxation Committee. Mr. Meadows.
Under finance, number one, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve the bank reconciliation board summary report.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Deneno?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik?
Yes.
Mr. Lamon?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Under finance, number two, I'd like to put in the form of a motion the payment of bills found in Exhibit C for October.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mr. Deneno?
Yes.
Mr. Lamon?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
Finance, number three is informational investment report found in Exhibit D for September. Finance, number four, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve the federal report found in Exhibit E for November.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mr. Lamon?
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Deneno?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
Finance, number five, I'd like to put in the form of a motion the student activity funds and athletic funds approval. That is Exhibit F for October.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
That concludes my report, Mr. D'Andrea.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. Health, Nutrition, and Foods Committee, Mrs. Conway.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. FS1, I'd like to put in the form of a motion the cafeteria report found in Exhibit G for October.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik?
Yes.
Mr. Lamon?
Yes.
Mr. Deneno?
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Conway. Security, Safety, Transportation Committee, Mrs. Beal.
1A, approve updated revised drivers list for MNR transportation, Exhibit H.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mrs. Beal. Human Resources Committee, Mr. Kalinsik.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Under P1, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve additional substitute teachers found in Exhibit I.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P3, I'd like to put in the form of a motion, approve conference request, approve permission for Jason Johns and up to 6 others to attend the 2025 ISP Conference, Station Square, Pittsburgh. It's January 26th through the 29th, 2025. Total cost of the conference will be covered by Title I funds.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P4, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve additional substitute employees for support personnel found in Exhibit I.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P5, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to accept the retirement of Ms. Tony Smidley, Access Secretary at the Administrative Office, School, effective October 22nd, 2024, and post a vacated position. Mrs. Smithley has how many years of dedicated service to the district?
I know, I want to say 18 plus, somewhere in there, so I know it's been a while, but I want to thank her for her service. She's been very instrumental in our access billing department. I'm sorry we missed a total number of years, but I know she has been here at least 18, possibly 20, as long as I have, so congratulations to her on greener pastures. Enjoy her time.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Under P6, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to accept the resignation of Mr. Donald Mankin, custodian, at the middle school effective October 22nd, 2024, and post the vacated position. And that would be a middle school position, 10 and a half month, 3 to 11 p.m. shift. I'd like to put the format in the motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Well, thank Mr. Macon for his time here. It wasn't very long, but he was here for a duration of time. He did contribute, so thank you, Mr. Macon.
Under P7, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to hire Mr. Rodney Walters, 10 and a half month, 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift at the middle school per terms of the collective bargaining agreement.
I'll second it.
Any questions on the motion? Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Kalinsik.
Yes.
Mr. Lamon.
Yes.
Mr. Meadows.
Yes.
Mrs. Beal. Mrs. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Denano.
Yes.
Mr. Elias.
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea.
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
And under P8, I'd like to put in the form of a motion to approve the paraprofessional update found in Exhibit J.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And that concludes my report, Mr. DeAndrea.
Thank you, Mr. Kalinsik. Athletic and Extracurricular Activities Committee, Mr. Lammons.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea. Under A and E 1A, accept the resignation of Mr. James Zavada, assistant varsity wrestling coach, effective October 17, 2024. I'd like to put that in form of a motion at this time.
I'll second it.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
I'd like to thank Mr. Zavada for his service here at Laurel Highlands. Under A and E 2A, authorize the actions of our Superintendent, Dr. Wallace, and hire Ryan Scott as a middle school assistant boys soccer coach. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
And I'll second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Lamon.
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik.
Yes.
Mrs. Beal. Mr. Meadows.
Yes.
Mr. Denano.
Yes.
Mrs. Conway.
Yes.
Mr. Elias.
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea.
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carries.
Under A and E 3A, accept the resignation of Mr. Dennis Marzano, head varsity girls soccer coach, effective November 4th, 2024. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
Motion's been properly made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
I'd like to thank Mr. Marzano for his service here at Laurel Highlands in the soccer program. A and E 4A, permission to award contracts and/or post fall sport coaches. I'd like to put that.
That's been tabled.
Oh, that's been tabled.
Oh,
Your motion is to table that.
Oh, okay, we'll table A and E 4A.
I'll second.
proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Under A and E 5,
Motion
under
carries.
A and E 5A, permission to hire wrestling coaches for recommendation of Jimmy Harris, the head varsity wrestling coach. Assistant varsity wrestling coach, Sean Gaster. Head middle school wrestling coach, Justin Haynes. Assistant middle school wrestling coach, Lauren Harris. I'd like to put that in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? Roll call, Kim.
Mr. Lamon.
Yes.
Mr. Kalinsik.
Yes.
Mrs. Beal?
Yes.
Mr. Denuno?
Yes.
Mr. Meadows?
Yes.
Mrs. Conway?
Yes.
Mr. Elias?
Yes.
Mr. DeAndrea?
Yes.
8 yeas.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Mr. DeAndrea, and that concludes my report, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Lamon. Legal advisement, Mr. Frankhauser.
The grievance that was scheduled for arbitration yesterday was postponed due to an illness, and we are still attempting to come up with a agreed-upon resolution to that short of the arbitration, but it will be rescheduled in the event that does not happen, probably first of December, or part of the week of December. Under the solicitor's reports, I intend to provide to the board at the reorganization meeting a comprehensive list and the status of the various tax assessment appeals that are pending. And it's quite daunting. Not a better explanation tonight, but really difficult situations when the tax assessments are totally based on the appraisal of the brick and mortar that exists with these structures and these large box stores, as well as also the pending situation with an exemption that's being claimed on the Holiday Inn Church. So I intend to give you a complete list of those that are pending and the status of those at the reorganization meeting in December. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Frankhauser. General matters. A reminder that the annual reorganization meeting is set for Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, immediately following the work session, which begins at 5 p.m. After the reorganization meeting, the regular December board meeting will follow. The work session will be held at 5 p.m. that evening. The board photo will be taken that evening. There's informational. Career and Technical Institute report. Mr. Meadows?
Currently, Laurel Highlands, we're up to 199 students enrolled at the Fayette Career Technical Institute. Some upcoming events, December 10th, we're having a spaghetti dinner to benefit the Skills USA program. They also have a Christmas kickoff paint and dip class coming up on December 3rd, a hardtack candy class coming up on December 5th, Santa Claus cake decorating class coming up on December 19th. Also upcoming, a Toys for Tots stuff, a bus is scheduled for December 10th. And on November 20th, they're having a Thanksgiving buffet. That'll be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the CTI Grill. That concludes my report.
We also had a tour of the nursing facilities, and they had the cadaver lab. It's actually cadaver table. They put, they're not actual cadavers, but they have actual cadavers loaded into this table, and you bring up the cadaver, and you can bring up the organs, and you can actually see what caused the death, and the students have access to that. There were a lot of other things we got to see there that they have. They're progressing with that health building there off to the south side of the building. If you're facing the front, off to the right. So they're going to have their own building for the health program there. Something to see down there. I mean, there's for adult education also. Okay. Anything else to? Okay. The intermediate Unit 1 report. Do we have a report? Mr. Meadows, do you have anything? You'd be
Last Friday, Dr. Melissa Nelson had it's SRO / any other school security or safety personnel to come in, had a training covering behaviors of concern, trauma-informed approach, de-escalation techniques, a lot of other topics along that line. That was day 1. We were there for 4 hours. Day 2 is coming up in March, and looking for day 3 possibly in the summer of 2025.
Sounds interesting.
They have an emergency evacuation drill train-the-trainer class coming up November 26th. That's enrollment. That's you can come in from any part of the state and come for that class. We're up over 30 different school districts represented already, so that's, 2 more weeks to go. That's a pretty good turnout for that class. Dr. Melissa Nelson's also hosting that class as well.
That's great.
And that concludes my intermediate unit 1.
Thank you, Mr. Meadows. Okay, we'll go to the addendum. Okay, we can have a motion to approve the logo in parentheses.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion to approve the request by professional employee A for sabbatical leave for the second semester of the 2024-2025 school year for restoration of health.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. To have a motion to approve requests by professional employee B for sabbatical leave for restoration of health from January 6th, 2025 through May 16th of 2025. Will return on May 19th, 2025.
I'll make a motion.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Number 4, approve. I'd like to have a motion to approve request by professional employee C for sabbatical leave for the second semester of the 2024-2025 school year for restoration of health.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Proper motion's been made and seconded. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Do we have any other public comment? Anybody would like to speak? Okay. We have a motion for adjournment.
I'll second.
Proper motion been made and seconded. That's the most
Y'all
important
don't
one.
want to stick around for a while?
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? I don't think so. Motion carries. With an executive session. You said you showed everything.